Anyway, thank you very much. It's a real honor for me to be here. When I was invited by Sandis, Gattis, and Anda to come back here, I said, absolutely, I will come back to Riga in a heartbeat. My relationship with Latvia spans 22 years, and I'm going to give you a quick little whistle-stop tour of my life, so please don't get bored. So this is me. I trained as a chartered accountant. I'm from Manchester, England. Very passionate about Manchester. In 1993, I was working for Coopers & Lybrand in Manchester. I got a phone call from a gentleman called Niels Mellingailis. Many of you may know him. He used to run Lat Telecom many years ago. He said, look, I'm setting up an office in Riga. Would you like to come out and work here? And I thought, I don't even know where Riga is. So I got on a plane and I came out. And it was summer in '93. The streets were beautiful. The women were very attractive. And I thought, where better place to come and work? So 6 months later, it's December. I'm coming into Riga, very excited. The door of the plane opens, and it's minus 30. I got pushed out onto the stairs. I tried to stay in the plane. They wouldn't let me. But I stayed here for 2 years, and I had a wonderful time here, and I worked on some very interesting clients. And Riga was going through a very interesting, Latvia was going through a very interesting change at the time. It just come out of occupation. It was trying to become a modern economy with a stable banking system. And it had many structural challenges. I worked here for 2 years, did a lot of work with the banking system, Ministry of Finance, and I'm delighted to say that 22 years on, I come back and I'm astounded by the progress that Latvia has made. Now, I understand it's not been a smooth journey. No journey is ever smooth, and there are challenges along the way. And I think Latvia has managed some of the challenges it faced remarkably well. The Latvian people have an incredible amount of resilience. They're very smart. The challenges you faced in 2008, you saw them off. And we're now in 2015, and you have one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And that's something that you should all be very proud of. I want to talk about the public sector, because that's the area I cover. And I think the public sector touches everybody here. Some of you may be government officials, government employees. Some of you may be municipal employees. But all of you are citizens, and all of you consume services from government. But more importantly, you pay tax. You pay for government. Now, there are a lot of challenges that we see, environmental challenges, which Frank touched upon in his excellent presentation. Security threats. We live in a very dangerous world. You have a potentially aggressive neighbor who, it's argued, could have aspirations to offer Latvia administrative services for free. You have economic competition. We live in a global economy. You're not just competing against the other 28 EU countries, but you're also competing against countries beyond that. You're competing, obviously, against your neighbors, Lithuania, Estonia. So there's a lot of complex challenges and a lot of things that are going on. Ultimately, this comes back to how you manage government. If we think about us as individuals, and Frank touched on this in his presentation, 22 years on from when I came, everybody has different expectations of what they want from public service. If I were to ask a straw poll here, I can bet you that 99% of the audience here have smartphones. You want to be able to consume really interesting new services. You want to be able to get news, information quickly. You want to be able to use tools in your work life that make your life easier and more convenient so that you can be more productive and do other things. Leaders need better information. They need it faster, they need insight, and they need it in real time. So we have this increasing wave of increasing expectations. So in terms of more informed leaders, delivering better insights, ideas as well, to help them shape policy and make better decisions is better for you as citizens. About how much money is spent in the budget, which areas it's spent, what return on investment those investments deliver. These are all important things that we should all be cognizant of. That's Mr. Ban Ki-moon up there. He's the Secretary General of the UN. He drove a policy last year where he set up a group to look at how data is used, because he felt there was a lot of data out there which countries were not leveraging properly. And that data has very valuable insights. They set up the Millennium Leaders Organization, and I would encourage you, if you get the chance, to look at this website. But it was effectively looking at 8 areas of development to help countries become more effective and more efficient and look after the best interests of their people. So we look at poverty and hunger, we look at education, equality, gender equality, mortality, etc., etc. And if you look on this site, you'll be able to see Latvia and how it compares against other countries. I'm delighted to say Latvia actually compares very favorably. I looked at many of these metrics, and you've actually got a lot to be proud of, because Latvia is moving ahead, and the momentum and the direction that you're taking is very positive. Workers are important. Workers are the lifeblood of any business, but also government. They're the guys girls that do all the work. They make things happen. And it's vitally important that they have insight. They're more productive. They can do things. They don't waste time. That they collaborate and they share knowledge with other agencies, other organizations. The ability to share knowledge and share insight has incredible value. You can unlock real insight and drive forward achievement and results. I want to give you an example, because it's all very well me talking about all this, but I wanted to give you a couple of examples of what Microsoft is doing in partnership with some of our customers. And I wanted to talk about Hamburg Port Authority. I think this is a very relevant example, given that Riga's port is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in the Baltics. We work very closely with Hamburg Port Authority to deliver a Microsoft Office 365, and that's a solution which is effectively Office, as you know and love, using Outlook for your email, Exchange, using Excel, Word, but it's in the cloud. It's in the Microsoft cloud. Microsoft has this global network of 10 data centers where we store and manage that data. And it's important because that data is dispersed around the world. But we're very, very careful about how we manage that. We have some very strict controls and processes and protocols that we adopt to ensure that we look after and safeguard and secure your data. Anyway, they had a very distributed set of employees. They had over 1,900 employees. It's a vast site, 7,400 hectares. And when you've got, and Hamburg's the second busiest port in Europe after Rotterdam. When you have the amount of business that's coming in, it's affecting the economy of Germany. And therefore, it's incredibly important that you manage that business effectively. And delivering the right tools to your employees, whether it's on a phone or whether it's on a tablet, is critical. It allows them to make critical decisions in real time and help avert disaster, but also deliver better service. If we think about the results that they've achieved by using the cloud, they're quite significant. They're able to deploy services faster. they can reduce business interruption, and they can make hard financial savings. I talked about more engaged citizens. We're all citizens here. It's important that we have a good rapport from the government, and the government is there to serve us. I want to give you an example. I live in London, in a place called Balham. Most of you probably don't know where it is, but it's in the south of London. And about 3-4 years ago, the neighbouring area, London has 33 effectively regions, developed an application called Love Clean Streets. They had a real problem. They had a lot of fly tipping, they had a lot of graffiti, they had a lot of street crime. And they said, look, what can we do about stopping this? So they set up this site called Love Clean Streets. It's got a mobile app. I've got it on my PC, and I've got it on my phone as well. It's GPS enabled, it's here. And if I see any graffiti, or I see any damage, or I see someone misbehaving and fly tipping, I can take a photo and I can send it, and it goes straight to the council, the municipality, and they can take action. Now you're probably wondering, what impact has this had? The impact has been incredible. The cost savings from more efficient refuse collection for that area alone was £150,000 that year. But it had greater civic impact. It reduced street crime, it reduced graffiti, it reduced injuries where people had got hurt by rubbish or some vandalism. People take more civic pride now. This was so successful, they rolled it out across the 33 boroughs of London. And we've seen real value, so much so that Boris Johnson, the mayor, has endorsed this. Not only is it being used in London, it's now being used across municipalities across the UK. And this is innovation that came out of a municipality. 2 guys coding an application. You can do that here in Latvia. And it has had an astounding impact. We talk about a people-first approach for government. Frank talked about transformation in his presentation. We strongly believe that that's very much the cornerstone of how we work with government. We want government to be smart, agile, drive down cost, and deliver services faster and faster. So we engage, we work with government. We're going to be working here in Latvia with the government as well. We already do, in fact, through our brilliant partner DPA. But we also see other opportunities. I talked about the cloud earlier, and I talked about how we can deliver real benefit. Governments, we're seeing the advent of the government cloud, the G cloud, as some of you may know, where we have government having a huge sprawl of server rooms across different ministries and different regions. There's real benefit to be attained by consolidating that approach, having a centralized system. The benefits in cost, service delivery, agility, and security are significant. Delivering citizen service portals is also an area where we're working, and I'll touch on that and give you a really great example of how I use a citizen service portal. We're also working with government around insight and mission critical, helping governments develop business intelligence dashboards where they can get real-time information on a city's performance. This can be made open. There's some great examples in Barcelona, there's great examples in Prague and Warsaw, where the city administrations are sharing to citizens how they're performing in against crime, transportation, education. And then on productivity and social, that management of the relationship with the citizen is also important. And we have some great examples there. I talked about the cloud platform briefly, and Microsoft prides itself on its very flexible approach to cloud. We have our own cloud, which is, you may know it as Microsoft Azure, the 10 globally linked data centers I discussed earlier. But we also apply that same technology and we allow our customers to use it in their own data centers, building your own private clouds. The great thing is the private and the public cloud can work together, driving real benefits, cost benefit, agility, while allowing you to have that level of control that you desire. We've done some great work in Zurich where we've helped them build out a cloud, delivering services across Zurich. We've also done this on a national level. We've done it in Romania. The key thing I want to stress here is that we allow people a huge amount of flexibility. You can start building applications very quickly. You can put them in the cloud. You can test them in the cloud. And you can start making real impact. I want to quickly talk about data dividends. Now, data is critically important. Frank talked about data and the growth in data. We look at it slightly differently. We see that growth in data. But what we look at is how you can draw real insight from that data, how you can transform, how you interpret, and how you deliver real insight out of that data. I want to talk about City of Seattle and give you a real example here of how we do that. Now, Frank used an example of Windows not being very efficient for managing energy in buildings. Frank, you are wrong. Hang your head in shame. Microsoft's been working with the City of Seattle to help better understand energy utilization in buildings. The Windows technology, allied to sensors and smart sensors, allows us to pull that data, analyze, interpret. As a result, we've been able to deliver real insight to the City of Seattle. The City of Seattle now can turn off lights in buildings, they can turn off air conditioning, etc., etc. They can control those buildings. They do that with Microsoft technology. The insights come with the Microsoft cloud. They've been able to make real savings, 25% in energy savings. Now, for a city the size of Seattle, that's not insignificant. We're talking millions and millions of dollars. Productivity and social. It's really important that you as users and providers of services as well deliver the best experience and have the best experience across devices. So it's important that Microsoft deliver cloud on your terms. We allow you to have it on premise. We let you have it online out of a Microsoft data center, as I mentioned. And we also let you have hybrid. And we deliver the best of breed solutions on top of that platform. Messaging, Skype is built on that platform. Best in class for video conferencing. Content management, SharePoint, that's also can be delivered, both models. Your ability to do reporting and analytics. You can use SQL on-premise, you can use it in the cloud, you can start driving all those data, rich data insights. CRM is also an important part of our strategy, and the ability to engage with your customers is important. If you engage with your customers in the wrong way, then you're not going to have customers very long. In the same way, if you don't engage with your citizens are going to be unhappy with you and they're going to vote for someone else. And therefore, we've been working with government, both at central and local level, to help develop solutions that allow them to manage citizen requests more effectively. It's a great example we've got in Ireland, which is for the tourist board, which allows them to manage queries much better. By the same token, we have similar solutions at local government level. I talked about mobility earlier. I don't want to focus too much more on that, given we're pressed for time. But the key thing here is it's important to have information available all the time across any device. And I'm really proud that Microsoft have a very open strategy towards device providers and how we deliver services to those devices. And I'll give an example a bit later on. The safety of citizens is also important. We've been doing some work with Westphalia police force in Germany, where they're using phones and tablets to help them better understand some of the needs and requirements of citizens. So they can better capture data. Suppose there's been a burglary or an accident, they can take photos in real time, they can upload them into the Microsoft cloud, they can analyze them, everything is time-stamped. What you find is better information capture, better accuracy, faster resolution of issues. So we talked about new capabilities, new opportunities. These are across all levels: national, regional, state, local government. And we're impacting each of these areas now with you as our customers and you as our partners. I want to quickly talk about ID solutions. These are very important as well. We've been working very closely with many countries to deliver national ID card platforms. The platforms are important in that they allow this universal unique identity, which allows you the ability to unlock and deliver services on a highly customized and highly tailored basis. The example I wanted to use is the UK. I have the government gateway in the UK, which I use. I use the government gateway to submit my tax returns. In the past, historically, I used to have to go to the tax office. I had to sit there, I had to file, sign. It's all done electronically now. I do them online, I submit them, I get a response back. All the data I need to post, I can scan if I need to, or I just send electronically. I use this for my driving license, my parking permits. People use it for their school registration. There are over 100 services being delivered by the government gateway in the UK to citizens at both a central level and at a local level. And if I think about the benefit to me personally, the time it saves. You know, parking permit, I used to have to go with all my insurance documents down the local council office. I had to wait in a line, I had to present them. Then I wasn't sure I was going to get a permit, there would be a discussion. It could take up to 2-3 days. Now, you can get a permit in 30 minutes. This is important. That time is valuable. It means something. It has an attributable value to you. It's time that you can spend either at work or you can spend with your family. And I think I know where I would like to spend my time. So it's important to be looking at these sort of things. Now, I couldn't come here and not talk to you about what's coming down the line and give you a little bit of a peek into the future. And Microsoft has been, and Frank talked about what's coming in 5 years' time. And my point is a lot of this stuff is here and now. It's here and happening. I'm going to talk about the Microsoft Band. I'm wearing one now. This is a device that's been developed by Microsoft. And it's been designed to help people live healthier, be more productive. You can do all manner of things. There are over 10 sensors on this thing. You can track your steps, you can do your running, it's got GPS, you can take your heart rate. My heart rate is around 90 at the moment, would you believe it? But the important thing here is it delivers actionable insights. It gets data, and this is data that you can use. You can use it as the basis for a fitness regime, you can manage your calorie intake, you can manage your sleep and the quality of the sleep you have. It makes you aware. And Frank touched on it in his presentation as well. This is about your own personal well-being as an individual. It's important that you look after yourself. It's important that you are in the best peak physical condition you can be. And not just Microsoft, but other organizations are developing similar applications. Apple have got one. But these things are here and now. And I'd encourage you to look at them and think about how they could apply. Technology is developing at such an incredible rate. If we look at the development of LTE, 4G technology and the miniaturization that's taking place, it's highly conceivable that very soon we'll have 4G chipsets in these devices, at which point, who knows what we might see. Microsoft's also been working on a project called Hololens, and I want to show you a short video that gives you an idea of how this technology can really change the way you interact with, not just with other colleagues, but with your work.
Look around. Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
Perfect.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap in the place of the old one.
Now what?
And tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Look at this formation. Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is Microsoft HoloLens.
I defy anybody who wasn't impressed by that video, because that is quite an extraordinary development that we're going to see. And it's not happening 5 years out. This will be happening in the Windows 10 timeframe. So it's only around the corner. And this is reality. I'm actually very proud of working for Microsoft. I've been working there for 10 years, and I think we do some amazing stuff. But I will say this, technology, is only really gadgets unless it has any real-world application. And I want to show you a short video. I know I'm running over. Let me just stop this a second. It's a short video about the work we're doing to help Virginia Tech University get a cure for cancer. Now, the real things that matter in life are your education, your health, and the ability to sustain yourself. Global killers, cancer, hunger, education. If you can make a real impact on that, you are really transforming society. I want to show you this video. It is an amazing video, and hopefully it will give you some really great insights into what we're doing.
Arthur C. Clarke said any sufficiently advanced technology will be ultimately indistinguishable.
Sorry, let me try that again. Young man, would you like to give me a hand here? Me being not so au fait with technology, as you know. Right, let's give this another try. Okay, so we closed PowerPoint. I've closed it. Oh, let's give this a try again.
From magic.
Go on. Go on. Okay. Oh, how embarrassing, my desktop. That is not a way to manage a desktop. Please do not do that. You never saw that. It's a Jedi mind trick. Forget what you saw there. Has it disappeared again? Come on. It's worth seeing. Right. Shall we, go on, you do it. You youngsters. Just click on the play. Click on the play. Do you want to make it bigger as well?
Arthur C. Clarke said any sufficiently advanced technology will be ultimately indistinguishable from magic. And that's ultimately what you'll see with the cloud. My name is Wu Feng. I am a professor of computer science at Virginia Tech. My research is in efficient, parallel, and distributed computing and making it easy for people to use computing resources. I started to realize that we can use computing to empower cancer researchers to help find a cure for cancer. The big thing that the cloud enables is access to computing capability that you might not otherwise have. By taking what they're doing in a wet lab and effectively digitizing that process, we'll be able to accelerate our ability to identify a cure for cancer. It wasn't too long ago, it would take 2 weeks to sequence and analyze a genome. Now, they do tens or 100 genomes per day. The cost to sequence a genome has dropped from $95 million to about $6,000. What the cloud promises is that our ability to accelerate discovery and innovation. Whatever I can do to help compute a cure for cancer, that's what I'd like to do.
Thanks very much. Really wonderful to have your attention.
Thank you. That was a difficult session, right? With the IT conference with a lot of IT issues.
I'm sorry about that.
Well together. That's fine. Amazing presentation. We have got time for very, very quick questions, a couple of them. Anyone wants to chip in on this, either on Imran's desktop or his history with Latvia or the presentation? Anyone? Please. So you will catch him by hand at the coffee break.
You will.
That is going to be, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be delighted to take any questions offline. I have my colleague Dan Haberling, a very smart man, sat in the second row over there. We'd be delighted to talk to you about what Microsoft can do for your business.
All right, that's perfect. We are a bit over our time limit now, so that would be a solution. They catch you by hand at the coffee break. So that is what we'll do for the next half an hour. There's a bit of a, before we break for coffee, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah? Okay, thanks.